Hey guys, welcome back. Today, if you have one, don't worry too much if you don't. You will need a block, a yoga block, but you can also use like a book or any sort of slightly heavier object. The aim of it is to have a little bit of a weight. So just pop that to one side for now, and then we're going to start standing at the front of the mat. Ground down through your feet, let the eyes come down to a close. You can take a little bit of a rock forwards, backwards, side to side, and then come to find stillness and get this real sense of rooting down through the feet, whilst also rising up and out through the crown of the head. Energize the arms, so turn the thumbs outwards slightly, pinky fingers in, palms are facing forwards. And just notice what area of the foot you are distributing your weight through. So do you feel it slightly more in the balls of the feet, the heels of the feet, maybe a little bit more on one side? And if you can, try to really focus on grounding down through all four corners of your feet evenly, so that you can really bring this balance into the whole body. Start to energize your legs, so engage the quadriceps, lifting up and out of your kneecaps. Find a very slight tilt of your tailbone. If anything, just think about lengthening your lower back. That's all that it requires. And as you do that, you'll hopefully feel this switch on the core ever so slightly. Again, we're not tensing. We're just finding a little bit of activation to provide stability for the rest of our body. And then let the shoulder blades roll down and away from the ears. Lift up and out of the spine, out of the pelvis, reaching through the crown of the head. And then start to focus on your breath, using that breath to anchor you into this moment, this exact present moment. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. And if you can, find a relatively equal length to each inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Take one more big breath here. Bring your hands to heart center, resting the thumbs lightly on your chest. Bow your head. Beautiful. On your next inhale, blink the eyes open, reach the arms all the way up to the sky. Interlace the fingers, keep the index fingers pointing up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, lean over towards the right-hand side. Big breath here. On your next inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, go over to the left-hand side. Equal weight down through both feet. Inhale to come back up to center. Release the hands and come to find your forward fold. And at the same time, just circle out the wrists slightly. Good. On your next inhale, find your halfway lift, so hands can connect with the shins or with the thighs. Try to lengthen along the spine, pressing the chest forwards by squeezing your shoulder blades together and reaching through the crown of your head. As you exhale, soften the knees and melt back down into your forward fold. Two more like this. Inhale to your halfway lift. Try to ripple through the spine. Feel that activation down the backs of the legs. Exhale to forward fold. Last one. Inhale to your halfway lift. And exhale to forward fold. Find your ragdoll. So maybe taking hold of opposite elbows, the opposite hands. Perhaps the arms just want to be really heavy and stay connected with the earth. Maybe you'd like to wrap your arms around the backs of the calves or the thighs, whatever you want to do. Don't feel like you have to be still here. You can find a little bit of movement, a little bit of a sway from side to side. Last 3 breaths here. On your next exhale, release the hands, let them float back down to the earth. Inhale to find that halfway lift once again, flat back. Exhale to forward fold, plant both hands down and step your feet back into your downward facing dog. So our first downward facing dog here, Allow yourself to find a little bit of softness. Don't yank and force the body into any unnatural shapes at this stage. Just try to keep it all organic and slow. You can take any movements that you would like to here with your legs, so maybe just pedaling out through the feet, perhaps letting those hips sway from side to side. Don't worry so much about what it looks like, but keep being mindful of pressing down through those hands so that you're not collapsing through the shoulder joints. You're drawing that energy up the arms, creating as much length down the spine as you can find. Awesome. On your next inhale, we're going to roll forwards into our high plank. Take your time. You might need to adjust the distance between your hands and your feet. And I want you to imagine that you're drawing the hands back towards the toes and you're drawing the toes up towards the hands. And you should feel that really switching on the core. On your next exhale, let the knees drop to the earth. Hug the elbows in. And we're going to lower halfway, keeping the elbows drawn into the side body. Inhale to press back up. Lift the knees and come all the way up and back into your downward facing dog. We're going to do that 2 more times. So inhale, ripple forwards. As you exhale, lower the knees, hug the elbows in, come into your push-up, press back up into your high plank, lift the knees, and then send the hips high, downward facing dog. Last one. If you want to, you can of course keep your knees lifted, same principle. Exhale to lower halfway, inhale to push back up, and then come back to find your downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys. Press down firmly through that left foot, sweep your right leg up to the sky. Take a bend through your right knee and then just draw some circles in space with that right leg, getting into the hip joint, creating a little bit of softness. Make sure that you move the leg in both directions. Amazing. And then realign the hips, extend your right leg out long. On your next exhale, take the gaze forwards, shift the weight forwards as you step your right foot up and in between the hands. Lower the back knee down, setting up for our low lunge here. Press down firmly through your right foot, squeeze those inner thighs together. Inhale to come up into your low lunge. Interlace the fingers here. Once again, keep the index finger pointing up towards the sky. You can draw the biceps behind your ears slightly to invite a little bit of expansion into the chest, but make sure that you keep pressing down through that right foot and squeezing your left glute so that we're not collapsing through the hips and through the pelvis. Beautiful. One more big breath here. On your next exhale, release the bind of the hands and interlace them behind your back. Inhale to draw the fist down and away from the glutes, opening up into the chest even more. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then as you exhale, release the hands. Let the hands frame your right foot. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the back knee. Press down firmly through both hands. And we're going to sweep that right leg all the way up and back into our three-legged dog. From here, cross your right ankle behind your left. So let both toes or both feet connect with the earth. But you might need to keep a little bit of a micro bend through your knees here. See if you can really drive down through that left foot, maintaining your alignment of downward facing dog as usual, but just hopefully getting a little bit more sensation down the back of your left leg. On your next inhale, we're going to ripple the weight forwards, keeping the legs crossed. A little bit of a challenge here. You can just stay as you are, or see if you can bend through the elbows, lowering halfway. Press back up into your high plank. Push your hips into your downward facing dog. Pause for a breath here, keeping those ankles crossed. And then slowly release the right foot down next to the left, coming back into your normal downward facing dog. Take a big breath here. Big inhale in through the nose. Big exhale out, either through the nose or through the mouth. Awesome. This time root down through your right foot. Use an inhale to sweep your left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Take a bend through your left knee and again, just draw these big circles. Imagine you've got a dollop of paint right on the end of your knee. You're painting some big circles into the sky. Awesome. Realign your hips, re-extend the left leg, three-legged dog. On your next exhale, step your left foot up and in between the hands. Release your back knee down. You can tuck or untuck the back toes. Press down through the left foot. Squeeze those inner thighs together. Reach the arms all the way up and overhead. Once again, interlace your fingers, keeping the index fingers pointing up. Start to draw the biceps behind the ears. Reach through the fingertips. Maybe lifting the chest, lifting the gaze slightly. But make sure that you really keep this strong, supportive foundation through your legs. Amazing. On your next exhale, release the bind of the hands, let them float behind the back, interlace the fingers, opposite thumb on top. Inhale to draw the fist down and away from the glutes. Just getting this beautiful opening into the pectoral muscles and all the way across the chest. As you exhale, release the bind of the hands, let the hands float down to frame your left foot. Tuck the back toes under, lift your back knee. Step that left foot all the way up and back into your three-legged dog. And then let your left ankle cross behind the right this time. Press through the hands. See if you can drive that right heel down. This will really help you get maximum sensation down the back of your right leg. Awesome. On your next inhale, shift the weight forwards into your high plank. Option to just stay here if you want to, or if you're feeling strong, bend through the elbows, lower halfway, push back up into your high plank, and then drive the hips back into your downward facing dog. Pause for a breath here, and then uncross your left foot from behind the right, and come back to find your downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys. Now we're going to make our way back up to standing, but we're going to make it a little bit more fun. We're going to take some little bunny hops from our downward facing dog. So really spread out nice and wide through all 10 fingers. Take a bend through your knees and just focus on trying to draw your heels up towards your bum. So it doesn't have to be very much, and you might start to get a little bit closer towards the hands. Try and stay light through the knees. Really press down through your hands. 2 more. Last one. Beautiful. Coming all the way up and in between the hands. Inhale to find your halfway lift. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to press down through both feet. Sweep the arms wide and high. Coming all the way up and overhead. Exhale. Hands to heart center. Good. It's amazing how those little bunny hops can really start to pick up the energy and the heat in the body. Now, on your next inhale, we're going to connect the big toes, sit the hips back, big bend through the knees, reach the arms forwards and up, coming into your chair pose. From our chair pose, we're going to lower the hips down. Take your time here until they connect with the earth. Lift the heels up and come into your Navasana or boat pose. So your shins should be parallel to the earth. You can support yourself with your hands here, no worries at all, or you can hold the back of your thighs. If not, turn the palms up, make sure that the arms are also parallel to the earth as well. And then as you exhale, we're going to start extending the legs and lowering down through our Ardha Navasana or half boat pose. And then release down onto your backs. Now this is where your block is going to come in handy. So we're going to extend the legs up to the sky and then place the block in between your feet. So just make sure that you're gripping it. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. I've got mine on the medium height or medium section, but you can just see what feels right for you. And then all that you're going to do is extend the arms up and overhead. And then as you inhale, you're going to lower the legs down towards the earth. And then as you exhale, we're going to lift the legs, lift the arms, take hold of the block. Inhale, re-extend the legs, let them float down to the earth, and let the block come up and overhead. Good. So all we're going to do is pass the block from the hands to the feet for 10, for 9, for 8. Of course, this is optional. You do not have to use the block. For 7, for 6, For 5, keep that belly button drawn in. For 4. For 3, by using the block in between the feet, you're really switching on all of the muscles down the insides of the leg. Last one. Amazing. Let the blocks just come down by your side anywhere. Hug the knees up into your chest. Take a little bit of a rock and a sway from side to side. And then we're going to do a funky little transition. Place the hands behind your thighs. We're going to start rocking up and down the spine. Okay, so start to get a little bit of momentum here. And then, I'm going to break it down. You're going to cross your ankles, bring your hands forwards, option to step into your high plank, just one foot at a time, or jump straight back into your chaturanga, so keeping the elbows bent, and then use an inhale to find your upward facing dog, and exhale, press it up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys, good job. Take 3 rounds of breath here. You can take a few breaths, breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the mouth. Good job. On your next inhale, press down through the left foot, sweep the right leg up to the sky. On your exhale, bend through the knee, stack right hip on top of left, and try and lift that right knee up towards the sky. Your right foot can hang down towards your glutes, and try to keep equal weight down through both hands. Awesome. Realign through the hips, re-extend your right leg, and as you exhale, step that right foot up and in between the hands. This time, keep your back knee lifted. Use the breath in to ground down through that right foot. Squeeze the inner thighs together, rise up into your high lunge. Keep a slight softness through your back knee here. That will help you lengthen through your lower back. Keep everything drawing into the midline as much as you can. One more breath here, and then interlace through your fingers once again, keeping the index fingers pointed up, and start to draw the biceps behind the ears, pressing the heart forwards, perhaps up. Amazing. Now a little challenge here, if you'd like to, is to lift your front heel up. This is going to affect your balance, so try to just keep focusing on something that isn't moving. Beautiful. One more breath. And then keeping that heel lifted, can you release the bind of your hands and let them float behind your back? Interlace the hands into a fist. We've been here before in our low lunge. Draw that fist down and away from the glutes. Good. As you exhale, release the right heel down, release the bind of the hands. Let the hands float down to frame your front foot. Press or step that right foot back to meet the left. Working through a vinyasa here. So by this, I mean either lowering the knees, you can lower halfway or down to the belly. Use an inhale to find your back bend. So that can be down from the belly. It doesn't have to be upward facing dog. And then as you exhale, meeting back in our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Press down through that right foot this time. Inhale to sweep left leg up to the sky. Stack left hip on top of the right here. Bending through that left knee and allowing the left foot to hang down towards the glutes. Really try and lift that knee as much as you can without spiraling through your rib cage. On your next inhale, re-extend through your left leg. Good, realigning through the hips. Exhale to step the left foot up and in between the hands. Press down firmly through that left foot. Draw everything up into your high lunge. Amazing, guys. Interlace the hands, keeping that index finger pointing up. Really try and stretch through the fingertips as much as you can, and then maybe you draw the arms behind the ears and allow that to start flushing your heart up towards the sky. Now, what we don't want to happen here is that we start to really lean back and we press the hips forwards and we lose all of that beautiful strength and stability through the lower extremities. We want to think of the spine coming up and out of the pelvis, going up and over in an arch. We're not just leaning back. So keep trying to lengthen through the spine. Maybe you want to float that left heel up off the mat, just for an extra little bit of spice. And then again, maybe Release the hands, interlace them into a fist, opposite thumb on top this time. Draw that fist down and away from the glutes, opening through the heart even more. Amazing. Release the heel down. Release the hands and allow them to come down to the earth, framing your left foot. Step your left foot back to meet the right, working through a vinyasa. So inhaling to shift the weight forwards. Exhale to lower halfway. Inhale to press up into your back bend. And exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, guys. Take 3 well-deserving big breaths here. Awesome. And then to get to the front of the mat one more time, we're going to take those little bunny hops, but we're going to add a little bit more to it. Again, of course, as always, completely optional. This time, if you can, see if you can clap the soles of the feet together. Might sound ridiculous, but I promise it actually can help to get the hips on top of your shoulders, okay? So exactly the same. But see if you can just connect, even if it's just the big toes or the heels. And again, we're just going for 5 times. Last couple. Last one. Beautiful. And then step it up and in between the hands. Inhale to find that halfway lift once again. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, press down through both feet. Sweep the arms wide and high, connecting the palms. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let your eyes come down to a close here. Enjoying what you are experiencing through the body. As you can tell, I am a little bit out of breath. I think it's those handstands and a little bit of dynamic movement. So notice what that dynamic movement churns up in your body. What do you feel? Allow yourself to drop down from your head and into the body. Connect with every single detail, every nuance, every vibration that you're experiencing. Notice how the breath is moving around your body right now. Is there a change in tempo? Is it still journeying into the belly, or is it a little bit shallower now? To seal our practice, we will take a big breath in through the nose. Pause at the top of that inhale for 3, for 2, for 1. Long, slow exhale out through the mouth. Beautiful. Bow your head. Thank yourself, most importantly, for stepping onto your mat today and showing up for yourself. And thank you so, so much for allowing me to guide you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Namaste. Thank you very much, guys. I hope to see you all again very soon.